Yo, what's going on, y'all? This is Marcus Rosa, aka Mazuma TV, back at y'all with some more boxing talk, man. I hope everybody's having a blessed, beautiful, positive, productive day. I'm just chilling at the crib right now, man. Just back at y'all with some more boxing talk on the road to 3K. We well into the 2K mark. Shout out to the nation and the mob for making this possible. All right, y'all, the video that I'm going to put out today, man, just speaking a little bit into the future. You know what I'm saying? I pretty much done covered every current topic that's relevant in boxing right now. We spoke about Errol, Josh Taylor rematch. Man, we done spoke about it all. You know what I'm saying? We staying consistent on here. So I think it's just time to sit down and just speak as boxing fans and just project on exactly what may happen in the future, man. And I've been doing a little bit of thinking. And I've seen a couple videos by 78 Sports TV, and stuff like that. And this is something that I found very intriguing, so I'm going to speak about it. And that's the idea of Errol Spence and Terence Crawford meeting again for unification at 154 pounds, man. I'm going to give you guys the full rundown and exactly what I believe is going to happen moving forward. You feel what I mean? So Errol Spence, obviously, he cut the line, like I said in my previous videos, in terms of getting the ultimate fight for the WBC Super Welterweight title against Sebastian Fundora, who just came off successful against Tim Tszyu not that long ago. Terence Crawford was supposed to be the one that was next for Sebastian Fundora due to him putting in a petition to be the mandatory for the WBO. Sebastian Fundora also grabbed the WBO title in the midst of defeating Tim Tszyu, so we were thinking that was going to be next, but somehow, some way, Sebastian Fundora, his team, whoever the hell is responsible for it, was able to get Terence Crawford off of their ass. Pause. You see what I'm saying? They said that he wasn't going to be back until November. He has some medical issues that he needed to be suspended from boxing for a little while. You know what I'm saying? Meanwhile, Errol Spence is in the ring calling him out, saying how, he's going to be next and he's not. And then he also told Terence Crawford that he don't wait in lines. You know what I'm saying? So obviously it was in PBC's plan to make this fight happen. That was the setup the entire time, and Terence Crawford just wasn't one of the people that was, the guy that PBC was actually looking to make a fight with Sebastian Fundora. You know what I mean? He wasn't the man of interest at this point in time, and that's just a typical thing with PBC. I don't necessarily think that they're trying to cut Terence Crawford out of making history or anything like that. I just think that they don't want Terence Crawford to come up off of one of their guys. You know what I'm saying? Unless he sits down and he signs a deal with PBC, then it'll make sense for them to ultimately sacrifice their fighters to Terence Crawford. But because he's a free agent and due to the fact that he's just going to do his own thing and he's not willing to, at this point in time, really sit down and sign a long-term deal with PBC, PBC is doing everything in their power to just keep their money in-house. You know what I'm saying? Business is business at the end of the day. And they understand that if Terence Crawford were to defeat one of their guys, it'll ultimately mean fucking up their investment and, having to start back down from the bottom. And, Terence Crawford just comes up off of them and they go to do whatever the fuck they feel like doing. Terence Crawford and them, they could go about their life however they want to. You feel what I'm saying? So with that being known, man, and like I've always said, the only reason why Errol Spence and Terence Crawford even happened, in all honesty, was because Errol Spence was persistent in making that fight happen. PBC wanted Errol Spence to fight Keith Thurman. If you know, you know. You feel what I'm saying? So Errol Spence essentially cut the line against Terence Crawford. He pretty much finessed Terence Crawford up out of that opportunity. However, Terence Crawford has a history of, regardless of being avoided, regardless of becoming a victim to the politics of boxing, and he always seems to find a way to, get himself in a power position. You know what I'm saying? And I'm happy for Terence Crawford. You know what I mean? The truth is always going to prevail. You know what I mean? And I believe that, to this point, Terence Crawford has been moving in the boxing game in a brilliant way, wanting to fight the best competition, you know what I mean? Wanting to prove that he's the best, doing legacy defining shit. So it seems to play out in his favor all the time. He ended up getting the Errol Spence opportunity when a lot of people thought the fight wasn't going to happen. He dominated Errol Spence. He goes up to 154, try to get Sebastian Fundora so he could become unified champion of the 154-pound division, since Canelo doesn't seem too interested in that fight at this point in time. There's no really big lucrative fights at 160. He tried to settle for the fight with Fundora. They try to block him out, try to sideline him, but he gets in tune with Turki Al-Sheikh. And Turki Al-Sheikh helps the man out and puts him in a power position to fight for the WBA belt. Not only that, but because there's a strong likelihood that Sebastian Fundora may be stripped or relinquished to the WBO title, that may put Terence Crawford in line to fight Errol Mazumov for not only the WBA title, but for the WBO title as well. So let's say hypothetically that he comes out successful against Mazumov, he'll be unified champion at 154 pounds. You see what I mean? And Errol Spence, he's not a fan of tune-ups. He don't really like to get into no fights that he doesn't find, legacy defining or, a big fight that ultimately proves that he's one of the best in the division. So I highly doubt that he'll be looking in the direction of like an Erickson Lubin or anybody that's at the 154-pound weight limit right now. He's chasing titles, and he's been alluding to the fact that he might not be in boxing much longer. And a tweet that he had put out not too long ago. So let's say both of these guys come out successful. You know what I'm saying? That'll put 3 belts on the line for them to fight each other. You know, Errol Spence is all about the belts. He's a former unified champion. Terence Crawford, he's all about the belts as well. He's a 2-time undisputed world champion. You feel what I'm saying? So with that being known, why wouldn't it make sense for them to fight each other? Why wouldn't it make sense for them to meet again for unification at 154 pounds? I think it's a great fight. I wasn't a fan of the fight, happening like next. You know what I'm saying? I did think that Errol Spence needed some time to rest and recover from that brutal beating that Terence Crawford had put on him. And I wanted to see Terence Crawford do some other fights that have been more intriguing in all honesty. You feel what I'm saying? So with that being known, it's like, I'm sorry, y'all. I just got a call real quick. Hold up. Yeah. So with that being known, it's like it's a no-brainer for me. You know what I mean? Unless currently Jermell Charlo is a WBA champion in recess, so he might pull Terence Crawford card and be like, "Yeah, I want that shot at the WBA. Like what's going on?" And that, that might be a fight that'll make sense for that point in time. You know what I mean? That might keep Terence Crawford busy. That's still a big fight to happen. Although Jermell looked shitty against Canelo Alvarez, that's still a fight to be made because, that was a fight at 168. I honestly believe that Jermell is still one of the top dudes, if not the top dude at 154 pounds, because nobody beat him for his belts. You know what I'm saying? They pretty much got relinquished. You know what I mean? None of them sanctioning bodies were willing to wait for Jermell. They wanted to keep things moving. So they pretty much took all the belts off him, but he wasn't beat for his titles. You feel what I'm saying? So Jermell definitely has a say, especially since he's a WBA champion in recess. But if he doesn't explore that, then that'll ultimately lead to Errol Spence, Terence Crawford Part 2 in a different weight class for different belts. You know what I'm saying? So I could honestly see that happen, but only under the condition that both of these guys come out successful. One of these guys comes up short, then we can pretty much kiss that fight goodbye. You know what I'm saying? Because I think both of these guys are at the end of their careers. Terence Crawford, he's in his late 30s. He doesn't want to be here much longer. Errol Spence, I think that he's not as hungry as he used to be at one point in time. That's just my personal opinion. I think he took a lot of damage inside and outside of the ring. So I think he just wants to preserve his health and spend time with his family, which I respect. In all honesty, Errol Spence has done a lot to contribute to the sport of boxing, has been a part of some big fights. So maybe that's just how his story was written. You know what I mean? Maybe he doesn't want to add many more chapters to his boxing career. So in the meantime, why not have them fight each other? Just one more. You know what I mean? Because Errol Spence made it seem like the weight was the reason why he didn't perform to the best of his ability against Terence Crawford. You know what I'm saying? But regardless of the situation, man, I would like to see what both of these guys do. I think Errol Spence is in a tough fight with Sebastian Fundora. I think that he may very possibly beat Sebastian Fundora. I think stylistically he has the tools to beat Sebastian, but it's definitely going to be hell. And Errol Spence might face some adversity in this fight in order to come out successful. Terence Crawford, I don't know too much about Errol Mazumov. I've only seen a few fights from him, but he's an aggressive, come forward, relentless power puncher. You know what I mean? And Terence Crawford, he's gotten rocked with punches in the past from smaller dudes. And this is going to be his first fight at junior middleweight. So he's definitely going to have to tighten up in the defensive department. He's always had sound defense, but you know what I mean? Just maintaining his defense, not getting too reckless and not necessarily respecting the man, but just having a healthy amount of respect for the man's power and what he's capable of doing. He's a dangerous guy. You see what I'm saying? So this fight could definitely happen. I see Errol Spence and Terence Crawford meeting each other at the end of the road for unification at 154. I believe the IBF world champion, I forgot his name in all honesty. I know that he's like one of these European guys. I think his name is like Morzaliev or some shit like that. Bakram. Let me see. I don't want to say his name wrong, y'all. Let me try to tighten up real quick. Y'all. I don't want to come crazy to the table acting like his name is Bakram Morzaliev. You know what I'm saying? 22-0. So maybe somebody will, pick him off. You know what I'm saying? But regardless, the guy with the most belts in the division is usually the number one guy. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking forward to seeing it. You know what I mean? Errol Spence got a tough fight. Terence Crawford got a tough fight. If they both come out successful, let's see this fight happen, man. You know what I'm saying? Before it's too late. That's just my overall take on the situation. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this. This Mazuma TV. Thank you very much for tuning in. Hit the like, hit the subscribe button, share the video if possible. Until then, y'all, I hope you have a blessed, beautiful day.